Previously on Ladies of Darkness.
Those two, they need a leader. And you provide a good leadership position for them. And
I'm really not sure what that means.
You, kind of follow the sound with your ears this time. And at the bottom of the bin towards the back, where most people would not look, it just says, run.
I think Vakil killed my mom.
Our heroes take the hot seat this episode. What lies in the depths of their minds? We don't know. Over then to Jacksonville, not Florida. Sit down, relax, see what the good doctor can do for ya.
Not hanging out. You go... I start every episode where it's like, I'm unsure. I know exactly what I want to say, but boy, coming out of my mouth, ain't that the trouble. Ain't that the trouble, lads, when you're trying to come something out of your mouth.
I'm sorry, when you're trying to what?
Yeah, I think you should definitely repeat that for posterity.
Yeah, Kat, when you're what?
When you're trying to cum something out of your mouth. I don't know what's so hard to understand about that. Jeez.
Something's hard about it.
What?
You want to take that again?
We're mature.
Rio, when you want to cum something out of your mouth, but you just can't.
You just can't.
It's too hard.
I'd like to talk about something else.
You are in the meeting TM with Dorian and Nina, and they've got that map all rolled out nice and pretty for you. Nice and pretty for you. Right in front of your face. I don't know where I am today.
Weird headspace.
Yeah, I am. I'm in a slightly weird headspace, for sure.
It's fine. Kat's just in the DM world.
Yeah. Anyway, they've got, the places where you've been kind of, X'd out. And now they're pointing to the place where you're gonna go. It's Jacksonville.
Ooh, boy.
Oh my
Not
god.
Jacksonville, Florida. You're not going to Florida.
Oh, I was just gonna ask.
No, sorry.
Still stuck in Georgia.
You're still in
Each
Georgia.
episode.
You're not
When will
going
the
to
gang
Florida.
leave Georgia?
Never! You're stuck here forever!
It's better than being in Florida.
Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Hey!
I don't know. I've never stayed in Georgia for that long.
It's probably better than Florida.
Hey!
If the media is to be believed, there's two things that exist in Georgia. Zombies and, I guess now, demons.
And peaches. There's also peaches.
It's true.
Yeah, you forgot about the peaches. That's actually the most dangerous part.
Are the peaches?
Yeah.
It's the pits.
But, Tish. So, you're going... God damn it.
It's been 3 minutes.
I know. I just want to start off this fucking podcast, but my mouth won't cooperate with my brain.
Move the word times.
All right.
I gotta come out of my mouth.
Okay, we're at the table. We're pointing at the map. We're going to Jacksonville. Woohoo!
What's the MO this time? Do we get to know?
Yeah, what kind of bitch is
Yeah,
it this time?
You do get to know. Nina kind of rolls up her sleeves and she says, okay, so me and Sam did a couple of recall stuff. We did go and investigate ahead of time, so we do know a potential next victim. But what is going on in this bitch is that people's lungs are collapsing.
Sounds like wind.
Yeah,
it sounds like someone who can control air.
That does seem the most probable kind of thing. So far, the victims have all been doctors, and we think that they might own the Earthbound, and the Earthbound might be doing that to them, rather than somebody doing that to the doctors, just based on, Sam touching dead bodies.
Huh. Okay. So it might be something related to doctors' accessories?
Yeah. We're going to, and she, clears her throat. We're going to look at some more possibilities, but until then, we have you guys some appointments.
Oh, great. I've never done the doctor thing. I am a doctor. I've never done the doctor thing. So this will be new.
Well, she's not really a medical doctor. She's a therapist. So
Oh. Okay.
just pretend to be really mentally ill. Or don't pretend. That probably would also be fine. It does not matter as long as you can divine the information that we need.
Well,
Let's be honest, I don't think we need to pretend that hard for that one.
we sure don't. And we all have our problems here. Might be
That
nice
was
to
kind
just
of
talk, you know?
that was kind of a self-burn. I don't know if you know that.
It's not really a burn. It's more of a statement of fact, I think.
I just have to let Vakiel talk for a while.
I think you might want to
Well,
consider
don't do
talking
anything.
yourself.
Yeah, don't do anything that'll get you arrested. Cause
Yeah, Vakiel might burn something. We can't have that.
Alright, I will struggle to maintain control.
Okay, great.
You can do it. I believe in you. You've been doing really great lately.
Thanks.
God, I need to go to a leadership conference.
Thanks. But Nina just kind of waits for any more questions before packing up her stuff. And she's like, "Oh,
Are you coming with us?
yes."
Really? Oh, this'll be fun.
Yes, and I call shotgun and she starts running out the door.
Oh, okay.
I call not bucket seat. Or, is that what that's called? The middle seat?
Middle
It's
seat?
not. I meant, my head went bitch seat, and then I didn't want to... Yeah, the bitch seat in the middle of the back seat. I call not that. But then I didn't want to say it, but then I did anyway to explain myself. A bucket seat is like the middle row of a minivan. I'm dumb.
Well, are we all set to go?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. Let's pack our stuff and get out of here then.
Broom, 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 broom. On your way to Jacksonville, not Florida.
So at this point, we want you, the audience, to envision just a map with like a cartoon dotted line and a van full of characters just driving across the state.
Yes,
Our little
please.
animated heads are sticking out, waving.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like
Preferably
it's like a bouncy, like the car kind of like bounces on the map too.
Oh, yeah.
Preferably, the car maybe has a face and some appropriate 70s music is playing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Family friendly only, because this is now a road trip montage.
It's as close to the Mystery Machine as we can legally get.
Yeah. Except for it's in Dorian's car.
Joke, continue?
Yeah, continue with the joke if you need to. Get it out of your system.
I think we've pretty much hit the joke. Joke has
Get it out of your system before I do these, I guess probably one-on-ones I think is probably actually the best way to do this.
Oh, shit, again?
Yeah, I know.
Therapy.
Yeah, it's not group therapy.
That would be really funny, though, you have to admit.
That would be pretty good.
It would be pretty good. It's your girl Cat and your DM Cat. Hey, sorry this episode is so late. Life hits you fast when everything is stressful. I'm really exhausted from so many things, but I'm here to tell you this is the episode, and my birthday's coming up on the 12th. Just wanted to throw that in there because some people... Thanks, Callie, for your information. Thank you for your input. Jesus Christ, I'm dying. You know what else is dying? The heart of Patreon, which we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/lodcast. We also have a coffee. It's ko-fi.com/lodcast. And we also have Twitter. It's at Lodwad. And we also have Tumblr. It's ladiesofdarkness.tumblr.com, and you can use the hashtag LODCAST on both of those, and then you'll get to see all of our social media, and we'll get to see it. Thanks, Callie. This arc is probably not going to be very long, so at least there's that. This series, this entire book chapter in our page, Demon the Fallen, is pretty close to being done. We've approximated about 10 more episodes, give or take. So we're really excited to get it over with and get to Vampire. We're not excited to get it over with per se, but we are excited to get it over with. Get it over with. Just put it in a box and throw it in the trash. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the episode. So you guys arrive at the office of Dr. Roberta Chell. It's a pretty, tidy place, and I guess you guys just kind of, sit down and wait for your turn to be called. She starts with Janina Valoel. Obviously, she doesn't say Valoel because...
That would be pretty weird, yeah.
That would be pretty wacky.
Yeah, because, oh God, she can see through my soul.
She can see a halo.
She could see my
The opposite of that.
Yeah,
Literally the opposite.
Your upside down halo, which looks exactly like a halo.
Like a halo, only demonic. Okay. So I'm going to go into her office, with my hello. It's not a hello, it's a hello.
Ha 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 ha!
Okay.
Dr. Chell is like a woman in her mid-50s. She's got like that salt and pepper hair. She appears to be like pretty tall from her chair. She's got like long legs and stuff. In the office itself, where she like talks to people, is pretty like also neat and tidy, and there's like kind of like glass ornaments and things like that strung about the room. There's a lot to look at. There's a hang in there cat poster on the wall. And she just kind of gestures for you to sit down on the couch across from her.
Okay. I go ahead and I sit down.
And she looks at like a notepad and she goes, "Okay, so it says here that you're here for anxiety. That's what you said on the phone, at least."
Yes, yeah. I've just been overwhelmed with just overthinking and anxiety to the point where it feels like I can't breathe almost.
Okay, can you elaborate? It would help me understand a little bit better.
Oh, sure. I've been working on this thing at my work, and it's really stressful. You know, I like my coworkers, and I like my team a lot. I just, I've been working so hard on this project, and my boss took me aside and wanted me to lead the project, kind of, like, not in an official capacity, but just kind of spearhead it in the direction that he would like to go with it. But I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I like where the project is going, and I'm just immensely anxious about the future of this. And, you know, if I give it up, I'll lose my my coworkers, my friends, you know?
Well, if they're really your friends, you're not going to lose them just because you lose your job. I want to start off by saying that.
Yeah.
But also, if you're being asked to take this leadership position, that means that there's a lot of trust put in you.
Right, yeah. And I think I've proved myself pretty thoroughly.
Is that what makes you nervous? Or is it just where the project is heading?
Yes, where the project is going is not in the direction that I would like to see it go.
Well, do you think that there's any way that you could maybe change that? Put it in a direction that you like?
I think there is. It would put my job kind of at risk. And I know for sure my boss won't like it, but I think it's better for everyone if it were to go a different way.
Well, ultimately, your judgment will always be correct for you. It might not be correct for other people, but you know what you want, and I can sense that you do, so there will probably be consequences to your action. Yeah, there's consequences to any action. But taking action helps us not remain stagnant. And if you don't take action, then she like pauses. You won't be in control of your life.
Right. Yeah, that's actually how I'm feeling, and that does put my problems kind of into perspective.
I think that you probably understand, I don't know, obviously the exact situation, and you don't have to tell me all of it. That's up to you. But you understand the risks and the rewards of taking your actions, and that's something for you to weigh. But I will say that I think you have a good head on your shoulders, just from the amount of time that we've been speaking, which I know isn't much. But you seem to be somebody who knows themselves, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, I don't have as much turmoil as some other people do. I know that.
That doesn't make your problems not as big. It just means that they're different.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've got my own set of problems, and the people that I'm with and that I surround myself with are good people, but sometimes it can be a little draining. Just keeping everything in line and keeping tabs on everything.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't have to feel like you're everybody's caretaker. I mean, it seems kind of like that's what you might think of yourself as, do you?
At times, a little bit, but they are my friends, first and foremost.
Right. But you do know that you need time to take care of Janina, too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I need to take care of myself as well. I, hesitate when I'm saying that. So it's I need to take care of... Oh, yeah, myself. I was take care of Janina, yeah, I should take care of Janina. Oh, me. You mean me.
Me.
Right, me.
Because it's often, I find, when you focus on other people, a distraction from the problems that you have yourself, and not necessarily always altruistic.
Yeah. I see where you're coming from, and maybe I've just been a little bit too, I don't know, control freaky.
Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting control. Everybody wants control, needs some control. But you shouldn't feel the need to control everything. Life is chaos, Janina.
Mm.
And there's gonna be things that you can't control. Do you react poorly whenever you can't control things?
I don't like being completely helpless. I know that. I experienced that very recently.
In what way?
Someone, kind of, I don't know, had me in this sort of illusion, just about, where I stood and where they stood, and when I figured it out that it was, all just a big lie, I was pretty angry.
Right. That's a natural reaction.
I don't get super angry very often, but that was one of the times, and I was just tempted to go all out.
She nods and she writes something down. Obviously you can't see what it is. And she says, when you don't have control over a situation, what do you do to get back in control?
Find a way out.
Why?
Because it's easy, it's natural for me. to find a different way, a way around, a way to influence the situation to what I want.
Well, that doesn't sound like finding a way out. The way you said it, it made it seem like you run away. But what you're describing is a type of manipulation
I suppose,
to make the
yeah.
situation work for you.
That's a little... I don't know. It's not passive-aggressive. It's more active than that, but it's a little sneaky, and I know that.
Well, okay, as long as you know, that's fine. Just as long as you're not hurting anybody, obviously.
Yeah,
Which
no, obviously.
I don't think you would do that intentionally.
No, it's never malicious. I mean, I guess it can be not ideal sometimes, but it's, what I need from the situation and what I think is best. And it usually works out. Especially at work,
Mm-hmm. What about interpersonally?
I'm not really super close with other people, but I did make a friend somewhat recently. And I know that sounds weird, but, these people that I work with, I care about them a lot, but we don't really hang out a lot outside of work. Outside of when we're, going on, business trips and things.
Right. But you'd like to be closer.
Yeah, I think I would. I trust them with my life, so,
Okay. She, writes something down again, and she goes, when you say you trust them with your life, do you think that feeling is reciprocated?
Yes, I think the feeling is reciprocated. At least I hope so. A couple of them are, they have their own problems. But I still think that we do care about each other.
And that's important to you.
It's very important to me.
After Valuel has been, called and her time is up, the good doctor, TM, calls Aiton into her office.
Alright, Aiton gets up and goes in.
Her office is exactly as I described it before. Yeah.
Whoa!
Except this time, the floral wallpaper is slightly different shade of light green. Spooky.
Yeah, that is really spooky.
It got a
little bit of a grosser color.
There's something mysterious going on in this psychiatric place.
The poster says, mental illness? You gotta be kidding me.
No, that's a different poster. That's the one in the lobby.
Let me find the claws of your problems.
That one's on the outside.
That one's not good enough for the office. I want to make these posters. New Patreon exclusive merch.
These specific cat posters.
Okay, Aiton, like, sits down and looks very cautious because he's not sure who she means. Because, like, Arecula's been stealing his name for a while now.
Yeah, you're not sure which one she means because she means Aiton. But the call was for Arakiel.
Okay, see, he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
He's like, alright, we both have very different problems, which one is it?
We both have so many issues.
Are we here for problems with anger or problems with being really sad?
Or both. So she looks at you and she says, so you called earlier and scheduled this appointment. What exactly do you want to talk about? And it can be anything, so don't feel like you have to say anything specifically. Just whatever you want.
I'm afraid I don't remember what I called about or what I said in the call.
She like makes a weird face and then goes, okay. Well, I don't remember exactly what you said. You just called and scheduled an appointment, so...
Okay. Well, we'll just go from here then.
Yeah.
Well, lately, I've been feeling like I don't have any control over my life in many different ways.
Care to elaborate?
Well, sometimes, actually all the time, I feel like I don't really have control over the direction my life is headed, or that I really have control at all over the things that I do or say, and the people I'm around. And it's been going on for a while, but there's also kind of another layer of, like, kind of distantly, in another part of me, I would say, I feel like I just can't trust anyone for different reasons, and that I have no control more in a, if I, like, I cannot escape from a bad situation kind of way.
Okay, that's a lot to unpackage at once, so let's start...
Oh, there's a lot more.
Okay, we have time to... I mean, this is, I'm sure, not going to be your only session, if there's really so much that you need to talk about. Let's just start with, when did you start feeling this way? Like you have no control over yourself?
Around January.
Okay.
Or no, Christ, I guess like a few weeks ago I really realized it, but I think it's been kind of happening ever since January.
Okay. Was there anything that happened in January that made you start to act in this behavior?
Well, I'm a college student, I'm a little old to be a college student, but
No, plenty of.
you know, my family didn't really have enough money to send me right away, so we had to wait on it. But I got some pretty cool scholarships because I'm kind of a linguistic genius. I speak a lot of languages. Anyway, so I was in college, but I started just feeling like hell every day. And it kind of started spiraling worse and worse, and you know, I kind of stopped being able to go to classes. It was a lot of things together, and I lost my scholarship. And after that, I was in a very dark place, and I kind of don't really remember the span from January to April, except in like kind of a foggy sense.
Okay. So you think that maybe this losing your scholarship, it might have caused some kind of trauma?
Oh yeah.
And that is possibly what caused you to go into this dissonance?
I would say so.
And during this time, what do you remember from this haze? Just, you don't have to give me specific details, just like a gist would be fine.
Well, I know I left my college. I was really confused and really scared. And, I think I was homeless for a while. Like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone, like, called me for something. And I was really afraid.
Over the phone?
Yeah. And I was upset that they had my number.
Who was this person? Did you ever find out?
Yeah, actually, that's kind of where the other part comes in of, like, I don't have any control over what happens to me. Like...
Okay. Well, after you got the call, what did you do?
Well, the person said to go and, like, meet up with them, and I knew that if I didn't, something very bad would probably happen to me. So I went.
I'm sorry, are you talking about a hostage situation, or could you be a little bit more clear? Because if that is the case, I will have to legally report to the authorities.
No, it was, family issues. Yeah.
So this person that called was a family member?
Yes.
Okay. And she writes something down?
And I don't really remember much. I kind of snapped out of it for a bit, during a business trip, and, this family member gave me a job, and, I had no idea where I was, or what was going on, and that was upsetting. And then I kind of went, and then I was kind of, like, pretty present for a while. A lot of weird shit happened. And then I kind of stopped, but it was less bad. And I remember the rest of it pretty clearly. and like I was present, and then like now I'm here, but yeah.
Can you go into detail about what weird shit happened?
Well, we kind of had to deal with someone's like problems in a relationship, and that was rough.
She like looks at her paper and then like looks at you and she goes, "What the hell is your job?" I'm sorry, I'm just trying to piece together what I can from what you're telling me.
Well, this was like kind of involved. Like, when you kind of... I'm a translator.
Okay. Was that the whole story there?
I mean, there's also kind of a bit where, like, this person close to me kind of, like, said some, like, told me some very upsetting news, and I can't even be sure if that was actually them. The medium that it was communicated to me was strange.
Like a letter?
And, yeah. But, it said that it was them. And,
what were they communicating to you that made you unsure?
a lot of bad things could be happening in my family, and, that I've been lied to, and, that I might lose some very important people to me.
Okay.
And that, I would be alone, and it's not really that I don't want to live without them, it's more that I don't want to exist without them.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that you can continue to exist without these other people. I'm sure there's other people in your life who value you a lot and love you for who you are. I also want to say, trust it's one of those things that, they say, oh, it's very difficult to earn, but very easy to break. And that's true. And at the end of the day, it's your gut feeling that will take you very, very, very far. But it sounds like maybe some of the people that you have been trusting, you have not been using your gut feeling on. Like, you did not trust the phone call initially, and now you're in a situation again where that is leading you down a road you don't want to be.
Yes.
So, my advice, at least for now, is to see how things pan out and find out who you can trust, who around you really cares about you. Because those are the people, Aiton, that matter. The ones who care for you. And they will always be there. So Aiton exits the office, and you hear your name, Charlie, being called.
Looks like I'm up the bat.
There she goes.
You enter the office. It's exactly as described as before.
Third time. This time,
Third time.
the wallpaper is now a light yellow shade.
Whoa.
Ooh. The yellow wallpaper reference.
We didn't even give it a color initially, so...
Yeah.
If you read the yellow wallpaper, comment on the episode.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I'm assuming a book, since you said if you read.
It's a short story. It's like a feminist piece about how isolation affects mental health, and more specifically,
Oh, maybe I have
in the
read that.
Yeah, in the 19th century. It's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Wow. It's kind of relevant, too. Congratulations, Steph. You accidentally made a reference.
Cool.
You kind of made a reference.
I sound smarter than I am.
Same.
See, now I'm just getting the image of Charlie, like, crawling on the floor.
But yeah, there's all those crystal ornaments and stuff. There's her chair, there's the coffee table, there's the couch.
Okay.
And the hang in there cat poster. Which is super important to the scene.
Yes.
The hang in there cat poster is actually the Earthbound.
It's a mysterious
Wow.
solve.
I'm just giving it away.
The cat just looks directly at you and flips you the bird.
Yeah, no matter where you go in the room, the cat's eyes are always following you.
This is gonna be a short arc. That was quick. Alright.
Yeah.
Charlie just kind of flops over on the couch and says, "Hey, what's up, Doc?"
Hi, Charlie. Your foster parents are the ones who made you this appointment. They didn't really give much of a reason. They just said that you've been acting strange lately.
Right. This is the first time I've ever been to therapy, so I don't actually know how to start off, I guess.
Just start however you feel comfortable. There's no pressure to delve into anything you don't feel like you should. Just whatever you feel fine with telling me.
Well, okay, so, well, I guess, growing up, I lived with my mom. My dad skipped out on us when I was, like, a baby. I don't know much about him other than he was a real piece of shit. I don't know, growing up, I was kind of athletic. I, didn't really have a whole lot of stuff going on with me. My mom kind of went through a series of dudes, one after the other, all of them pretty awful. So she finally settled on this dude. His name is Dale. He's okay, I guess. And things were good for a while. But they're both gone now. And I can't remember what happened. I mean, I feel like I know what happened. But it's just not there. I can't remember.
Well, memory loss isn't uncommon when you go through a traumatic event. You can just take me through the things that you remember before and after your memory loss.
I remember it was Saturday night. I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago. I was studying in my room and my mom was doing laundry downstairs and my dad wasn't home yet and it was pretty late. Stepdad, I mean.
Right.
And I hear, like, both of them charging upstairs, yelling at each other. I guess he had just come home. I couldn't hear what they were yelling about. And usually I just kind of hide when that sort of thing happens. I keep to myself. I don't. But this time, I felt compelled to open my bedroom door and see what was going on, and that's all I remember. At least about before.
And what about... Okay, what about after?
The next thing I remember is sitting on the front lawn, crying and watching the house go up in flames.
So, between you opening the door and you on the lawn, at some point the house went on fire. I just want to make sure that that's where it ends and begins.
Yeah, that's the piece that's missing.
Okay.
The fire trucks come. I don't remember doing much after that, just being sad. Being real sad for a long time.
That's understandable. When did this happen?
3 or 4 months ago. Can't remember exactly.
It's understandable that you can't remember all of that quite yet. It takes some people years to remember things like that. Maybe you're not ready to remember it, but maybe you are. I'm not you. I can't speak for you, Charlie. What do you think happened, if you had to hypothesize?
She kind of clutches her head and, like, sits up and leans forward. Just thinking about it gives me a headache. Just trying to come up with it. Just trying to fill in that blank. And I think it might have involved, might have been something I did. I think it might have been something inside me.
But that thing inside you, is it still there? Do you have it under control?
I don't know about control. Yeah, I think it's still there.
Okay. Charlie, I want you to know that I'm here to help you figure out what happened, and that I'm here to listen to you, and that I am obligated not to tell any of this to anyone. Unless you have some sort of plan to actively harm yourself or others. Because at that point, I do need to step in and stop that from happening. But otherwise, whatever you tell me is in complete confidence. So you can rest assured that I'm not going to blab to your foster parents or something like that. I'm sorry that my cat on the wall keeps on yelling.
Charlie's eyes kind of glaze over for a minute, and then she looks up at the doctor and says, "All right then. I think it's time you knew." What happened that night. I've been trying to protect you, but maybe I did more harm than good by keeping it from you.